Good evening. Welcome to UCLA. Please welcome the College Marshal for this evening's ceremony, Professor Aaron Tornell.
It is my honor to welcome you to UCLA's Commencement weekend. This ceremony is devoted to honoring the students from the UCLA College of Letters and Science. My name is Aaron Tornell, and I am a professor of economics and the College Marshal for this ceremony. While the students and the official party are assembling, let me take a moment to tell you about UCLA. I am proud to say that your graduate has attended one of America's finest universities. UCLA is a national and international leader in the breadth and quality of its academic, research, healthcare, cultural, athletic, and continuing education programs. 7 alumni and 6 faculty have been awarded the Nobel Prize. And every year, the accomplishments of our students grow. You will be pleased to know that the academic performance of the students in the class of 2018 makes them the highest achieving students ever to graduate from UCLA. If you are new to the UCLA campus, you are in Poly Pavilion, the home of Bruin teams in men's and women's basketball and volleyball, as well as women's gymnastics. UCLA has one of America's most successful intercollegiate sports programs. Bruin teams have won 116 national championships. In Poly, you can see banners representing 46 championships won by men and women in 6 different sports. In addition to our intercollegiate athletics program, Poly has hosted the 1984 Olympics. Visits by President Bill Clinton and the Dalai Lama, and also the '98 presidential debate between George H.W. Bush and Michael Dukakis. Other events that take place in Poly include the new student welcome, Bruin Bash, Spring Sing, and numerous intramural and club sports team practices and competitions. After commencement concludes, I invite you to look around UCLA. Outside of Poly, you will find one of the most beautiful universities in the world. Are we ready? I didn't hear. Are we ready? Are we ready? Okay, family and friends of graduates, I present to you the graduating class of 2018 from UCLA's There it goes again. The graduating class of 2018 from UCLA's College of Letter and Science. Please have a seat. Hello, UCLA graduates. Oh. Here. Ladies and gentlemen, the official party. Hello, UCLA graduates. Hello, UCLA graduates. Welcome to your commencement ceremony. Singing the National Anthem is Ritu Srinivasan, who is graduating today with a double major in economics and psychology. Please let us welcome Ritu.
Please rise for the National Anthem. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rocket's red glare, the bombs burst still there? Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave? O'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Thank you, Ritu. Beautiful. Thank you. Maybe seated. Now, I am pleased to introduce the Senior Dean of the College and Dean and Vice Provost of Undergraduate Education, Patricia Turner.
Hello, class of 2018. On behalf of the deans, faculty, and alumni who join me on stage, I welcome you and your family to the commencement ceremony for the College of Letters and Science. I would also like to thank Professor Aaron Tornell, our College Marshal, for greeting our guests this evening. Graduates, this evening is an acknowledgement of your achievements and a celebration of the culmination of your undergraduate studies. You have met the highest challenges of education. You have been partners with faculty in our quest to learn and discover. You will be the next generation of leaders in your fields. In the 99-year history of the University of California at Los Angeles, you are the most talented and accomplished and best-looking class ever to graduate from UCLA. Graduates, joining us here today are many special people who stood by you through your years at UCLA, your family and friends. I would like to ask the parents, the partners, the friends, and family members of our graduates to stand. Graduates, please join me in acknowledging your guests. Thank you. Now I am pleased to welcome the Chancellor of UCLA. In his 11 years as Chief Executive of the campus, he has worked to strengthen the university's academic excellence, build our campus diversity, and inspire a new level of civic engagement within the UCLA family. Please welcome the Chancellor of UCLA, Gene Block.
Hello to our friends today, our families, and especially welcome to the graduates. Congratulations, class of 2018. As Dean Turner said, you are spectacular. But before we go further, I just want to acknowledge some of the labor issues that have impacted our campus in today's ceremony outside. I want to be clear that members of the union contribute greatly to the life of our campus and to our students. They impact your lives, so hopefully UC and the union can reach an agreement soon. I'm hopeful of that. And now to our graduates. I hope you're proud that you've reached this milestone. I know your professors, family, friends, all of them are proud of you. As Vice Provost Turner said, next year UCLA will turn 100 years old. That's actually fairly young for a great university. But UCLA keeps getting better and better, and more selective, and therefore our students keep getting better and better, and more impressive. Therefore, with data backing me up, I can safely say that the class of 2018 is the best class ever to graduate from UCLA. Congratulations. It's true. But now time for a confession. So it's tough to write even a short commencement address, and I promise this one will be mercifully short. It will be. But I want to say something helpful, something that that you'll recognize, that gives you something memorable in terms of advice. But this is a day filled with excitement and emotion, and frankly, I can barely remember any commencement speech. It's just there's too much going on in your lives now, too much excitement. So to help me, we went across campus and we asked members of your class what was on their minds, what would they like to hear from me. And your questions were, of course, intelligent and thoughtful as you are. And some of the questions were deep, they were philosophical, like how do we approach uncertainty? Wow, I mean, that's a deep question. And my short answer is that many people approach uncertainty through their personal faith. That's certainly what many people rely on. People use science to help reduce uncertainty. And a tantalizing and challenging thought, paraphrased from the writings of philosopher Erich Fromm, is, and I think this is interesting, says the quest for certainty blocks the search for meaning. Yeah, it does. Very nice. Excellent. Continuing. Uncertainty is the very condition that impels us to unfold our powers. Actually, thoughtful. Some of your questions were more personal. How do we make an impact? What advice would you give your younger self? And more about this later. Some questions were practical. How do I begin my career, start my future? How can I remain more engaged with UCLA as an alumnus? And my short answer to both of those questions are network aggressively, you know how to do this, and stay connected to the Alumni Association. The Alumni Association is really a lifeline for you wherever you are, and I would recommend stay close. So some of your questions were almost too practical, like how do you do your taxes? So for that answer, I'm going to refer you to the other block, H&R block. Unfortunately, not a relative. And the real truth is, my wife Carol and I, who's sitting here with me tonight, we're pretty cheap and we use TurboTax. Good program. And my favorite question that you asked is UCLA's motto is Fiat Lux, let there be light. How can we bring more light into the world after we graduate? And that's really an important question. And I have confidence, full confidence in you that you'll do just that. You'll radiate both light and warmth, both, and that'll make the world a better place. So I have no doubt you will all change the world. And I was deeply impressed by the openness and generosity, the spirit of your questions. You're really thinking about others. You're not thinking about yourself when you ask these questions. So in 1927, a long time ago, valedictorian Ralph Bunche spoke at his UCLA graduation. He counseled a version of this generosity and openness. I think it's excellent advice for bringing more light into the world. He told his classmates to expand up and out from our narrow, immediate world. He urged them to cultivate the soulfulness, spirituality, imagination, altruism, and vision which enables us to understand and to love fellow human beings. After UCLA, Ralph Bunche put those words into action and went on, as many of you know, to win a Nobel Peace Prize. Now, I don't have a Nobel Prize, But I've thought a lot about the question of openness, the need for not getting trapped by our own assumptions about people, careers, politics, or the world in general. And I do believe, personal opinion, that much of the divisiveness in our country and in the world today is the result that facts are often discarded or twisted through narrow perceptual funnels. We have too much ideology, not enough attention to data. So almost a century ago, the same year that UCLA was founded, the mathematician and philosopher Alfred North Whitehead urged scientists, and he was speaking to scientists about this, to avoid the error of what he called misplaced concreteness. Misplaced concreteness. Scientists use data to construct abstract models, which are conceptual schemes that help them better understand the meaning of data. You take data in an experiment, you create a model, and that model helps you better understand the data. But as he warned, the conceptual model is not the data. And however useful these abstract models are, you should always deal with a healthy dose of skepticism about their validity. He really said, build a model, but then mistrust that model. Indeed, good science must be self-correcting. We always have to be open to revising our conclusions based on new facts. You have to be willing sometimes to let go of cherished ideas. Scientists think about fundamental issues like gravity and the structure of matter very differently than they did 400 years ago. You have to be willing to move ahead when new facts really challenge your current view. And I think Whitehead's warning has relevance beyond how we understand the physical world. Every day, we're flooded with simplistic ideological views on a variety of issues, and the assault on what constitutes a fact seems unrelenting. This is all deeply concerning, especially at an institution like UCLA, where we thrive on evidence-based reasoning. So as you move forward in life, you will need intellectual flexibility to adjust your thinking to new facts and to respond to what is, even though you may dream about what could be. So I would say, remain open to views that may be radically different from your own. Don't let abstract ideology rob you of the valuable insights of others. And this is probably the advice I would have given myself when I was younger, is really stay open, listen to new ideas, really don't discard data until you're really certain that in fact it's either incorrect or that there's better explanations for phenomena. Straightforward, right? So, be thoughtful, right? So one more piece of advice. Do good while you're doing well. You should do well. We want you all to do well, but we really think it's important that you do good. Really take an opportunity to make a difference. The problems we face, from homelessness to gun violence to climate change, are the challenges of your generation. I'd say created by my generation, but it's going to have to be solved really by your generation. And I'm confident you have the tools and commitment to meet those challenges. And while you do this, remember you're not alone. The people who share your values and hold you accountable to your best selves, the people with whom you've created bonds, these people are your community. But beyond that, the people who don't look like you, who don't share your worldview, who seem to have different values, they're your community too. And your destiny is really bound to their destiny. We're in this together. So I certainly hope that you have found community here at UCLA, and I hope you know that these connections will not end when you leave campus. As a graduate of UCLA, you are automatically a member of our Alumni Association, a very elite group of graduates like you, but there's 500,000 of them around the world. Elite, but pretty large, and very, very helpful. You can turn to alumni for support, camaraderie, and advice. You can help empower other alumni or students as a mentor, a career advisor, an employer, a scholarship provider, or a volunteer. The alumni network can really be a lifeline to you wherever you are in the world. We have alumni everywhere, and that will be important. Don't lose sight of that as you travel and you find yourself working in different parts of the world. And for the student who asked about your taxes, I bet you can find a few alumni who are tax consultants, so shouldn't be a problem. So there's one other thing that Ralph Bunche told his classmates over 90 years ago. So looking out at them like I'm looking out at you, he said simply, and very simply, as we go, so goes the world. And I think that's still true. As you go, so will go the world. Congratulations, class of 2018, and go Bruins. Thank you.
Thank you, Chancellor Block. The college deans and I are honored to acknowledge the students who graduate today with very special academic achievements. I would like to recognize the students who are graduating with one of the highest academic awards the College of Letters and Sciences can give to an undergraduate, the designation College Honors. The extraordinary students who are graduating with college honors have completed outstanding work in their major and also a special set of rigorous courses. Of the thousands of students who are graduating from UCLA this year, only 403 are receiving college honors. Will the students who are graduating today with college honors please stand? Thank you. Please be seated.
Graduates, I'm Victoria Sorc, Dean of Life Sciences. I'm pleased to recognize our many students who are involved in projects in the community. They accomplish this work through campus programs that bring together civic involvement with academic courses. Would all of the graduating seniors who served in the community please stand? Thank you, and be seated.
Graduates, I am Darnell Hunt, Dean of Social Sciences. I am privileged to acknowledge the recipients of the 2018 Chancellor Service Award. The Chancellor Service Award is presented to students whose college careers have been distinguished by dedication to UCLA and the community. These students, 138 of them this year, have earned this distinction through a sustained record of outstanding leadership and service. Will the students who have been honored as recipients of the Chancellor Service Award please stand so we can recognize your superb commitment? Thank you. Please be seated.
Hello, graduates. I'm David Skaberg, Dean of Humanities. I'd like to present our students who are receiving Latin honors, which is recognition for high academic achievement. There are 3 levels of Latin honors. First, I'd like to acknowledge our students who've received cum laude honors. Would you stand and be recognized for your accomplishments? Thank you. Thank you. Please be seated. Next, I'd like to honor our students who are graduating magna cum laude. Would you please stand and be recognized? Thank you. Please be seated. Finally, will those students who are graduating with the highest Latin honors, summa cum laude, please stand and be recognized? Thank you. Please be seated.
Hello, graduates. I am Miguel Garcia Garibay, Dean of Physical Sciences. I would like to recognize students who have participated in research while at UCLA. As you know, UCLA is one of the world's great research universities. More than half of our students enhance their academic careers by working alongside faculty on projects or writing on honors thesis or participating in research in class. These students perform the original work and advance the frontiers of knowledge. Would all the graduating seniors who have participated in research please stand so we can recognize your achievements? Congratulations, please be seated.
Thank you, Dean Garcia-Garaby. Graduates, you have excelled in everything you've put your mind to, from research to community service, from academic success to personal enrichment. You have spent your years at UCLA becoming well-rounded, and you're ready to begin a new chapter. Your student speaker for this evening embodies many of your own successes. Hoang Nguyen graduates today with a degree in political science, specializing in American politics. Originally from Vietnam, he is the first in his family to attend college. Like many of you, Hoang took advantage of the rich opportunities offered at UCLA and was involved in political, cultural, advocacy, and service organizations. He also reported for the school newspaper, published academic research, and performed twice on the stage of Royce Hall. He is an advocate for underserved communities and plans on continuing this work after graduation. Please welcome Hoang.
Good evening. Friends, family, honored guests, welcome. 4 years ago, I entered college completely terrified. With my old backpack still stained by the memories of high school, my confidence still buried underneath the pile of identities I constructed in order to fit in, I walked onto campus, cautiously, keenly aware of every step I took, as if a stride too long would somehow do irreparable damage to my non-existent reputation. Like everyone around me, I was scared to death of stepping in the wrong direction. Like everyone else, I was trying to find my way, feeling like I was going everywhere and nowhere, all at the same time. During this time, though, I did, to my parents' relief, learn some things. In my statistics class, I learned to derive tangibility out of abstractions. With the right context, statistics became less about formulas and more about the concrete realities of life. I remember snapping out of my ignorance when I heard that 1 in 5 children live in poverty in the richest country in the history of the world. 1 in 5. I learned that numbers can be impossible to ignore sometimes. For my history class, I read about great thinkers and giants who paved the way, those who saw the flaws of our world and instead of turning a cold shoulder, embraced our imperfections and spent their lives fighting for that which is right. People who inspired entire generations, and they remind us that there is so much left to be done. And while I loved the classes, most of the classes I took at UCLA, the lessons most important were the ones that extended beyond the 4 corners of the lecture halls. I learned empathy through volunteering, useful skills through internships, and like everyone here, I became an excellent procrastinator. But I also recognized the agency inherent in all of us, the ability to not only see the problems that haunt our world, but to become an active part of the solutions. You know, I came to this country 12 years ago without a lick of English. My story is a story of the renowned American dream, and it is in that American spirit, It is this university and its people that propelled me onto this stage today. Unfortunately, that same spirit, that elusive American dream, has been completely unfamiliar to far too many and for far too long. 1 in 5 children still live in poverty in the richest country in the world. There is much left to be done. So let us make a commitment right here and now. A commitment equal to this unparalleled moment of possibility. Let us promise ourselves to always get back up when we fall down and to hold tight that fierce belief in what we can achieve together. And every time we think that we have exhausted our ability to meet a challenge, let us look up and be reminded that there is no impediment so great, no problem so daunting that cannot be surmounted with the strength of our determination. Class of 2018, it has been my greatest honor to stand alongside you these past 4 years. Nothing has given me more hope than knowing that we are the next generation of leaders, of explorers and engineers, of doctors and lawyers and innovators and thinkers and problem solvers. And I don't yet know what the future will look like. All I know for sure, all I know for certain, is that we are a generation of optimists and not cynics. We prefer action rather than empty promises. We are doers and fixers instead of mere observers. So my fellow Bruins, I want to leave you with this. When we walk out those doors tonight, the world will expect, it will demand much more from all of us, because there is too much suffering among us and not nearly enough compassion between us. And so we can do better, and we must do better, and we will do better. And we will start this moment today. Congratulations, thank you, and go Bruins!
Thank you, Juan. Now, it is my honor to present the candidates for the conferral of their degrees. Graduates, this is it. I will call on the deans of the college to present and promote the bachelor's candidates to Chancellor block. Presenting the candidates for the bachelor degrees in the Division of Physical Sciences is Dean Miguel Garcia Garabi. Dean Garabi, do you think you can convince the Chancellor that your students have earned their degrees?
Chancellor of Ucl, we are very fortunate to start this with the smartest, most brilliant, nicest, and better-looking students in the college. Will the candidates for the degrees of Bachelors of Science and Bachelors of Arts in the Division of Physical Sciences please raise and remain standing? The great challenges of our time, deep questions about the nature of our universe, about our origins, above all, about our future in the world in which we live, are grounded in the physical sciences. For instance, climate change lies in the domain of our students in atmospheric and oceanic sciences, in earth, planetary, and space sciences, and the Institute of the Environment and Sustainability. The discovery of compounds that cure diseases and that lead to the sustainable generation of energy will be the work of our graduates in chemistry and biochemistry. The investigation into the structure and deep history of the universe, as well as the possibility of other life in the cosmos, will be pioneered by our physics and astronomy graduates. Our graduates in mathematics and statistics will pioneer the mastery of the flood of data. They will pioneer the flood of data that we must now process in order to understand and manage an ever more complex world. All of this and more will be addressed by you, graduates in, maybe when you hear your department, you want to shout. Atmospheric and Oceanic Sciences, Earth, Planetary and Space Sciences, Statistics, Environmental Science, Physics and Astronomy, Mathematics, Chemistry and Biochemistry. Physical Sciences graduates, you all live here with a deep fund of knowledge into the science underlying what we know about the world. You also carry with you finely honed skills in reasoning and analysis that will equip you to overcome the most daunting intellectual challenges that will be thrown your way. You are the cream of the crop. You have mastered the hard sciences. Chancellor of Ucla, it is my honor to present to you the dedicated, inquisitive, analytical, gifted, and altogether stellar candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science and Bachelor of Arts from the Division of Physical Sciences.
Thank you, Dean Garcia-Garibay. Candidates for the bachelor's degree from the Physical Sciences, please be seated. Presenting the candidates for the bachelor's degree in the Division of Humanities is Dean David Skaberg. Dean Skaberg, can you convince the Chancellor of the worthiness of your students?
Well, I certainly can try. Candidates for the Bachelor of Arts degree in the Division of Humanities, please rise and remain standing. Speak up for yourselves a bit. Yes, good, good. Well, with all due respect to people who understand the hard sciences, I'm just going to ask, if you're looking for someone who can help you to read and understand the most basic texts of our cultural traditions, the texts that our ancestors passed down to us after having composed them, who are you going to ask? A humanist, yes. Let's say you need to understand that interesting person across the hallway here at UCLA, or that interesting person across the street, or those very interesting people on the other sides of the oceans. Call a humanist. Let's say you want to understand the fundamental nature of truth and what we can know. Call a humanist. Let's say you want to hire someone who can read complicated material, present it in clear ways, speak persuasively, write clearly, work well with teams, come up with creative solutions to the problems you're facing, be a good human being. Hire a humanist. Let's say you need to understand the despair that comes with loss and heartbreak, the joy of love, of having a child, the suffering that comes with losing someone you love. Who are you going to turn to understand those things? A humanist. And let's say that you need to find the meaning in your life and to make a way forward for yourself in a fully understanding way. Be a humanist. That's what's special about humanists. Chancellor Block, I present to you the literate, persuasive, brilliant, creative, and humane candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Arts from the Division of Humanities.
Thank you, Dean Skaberg. Candidates for the bachelor's degree from the Humanities, please be seated. Presenting the candidates for the bachelor's degree in the Division of Life Sciences is Dean Victoria Sorc. Dean Sorc, would you like to draw Chancellor Block's attention to the strengths of your students?
Thank you, Pat. You know, there's no waiting. The graduates of life sciences know it's time to stand, right? You, our graduating students, have come into life sciences at an exciting time. Over the course of many of your lifetimes, technological advances have catapulted science in ways we couldn't have imagined just a couple decades ago. For example, at that time, it took 10 years to sequence the human genome. Now we see advertisements that for $100 you can, from 23andMe or Ancestry.com, you can buy your own. Life science graduates are now poised to one day soon cure diseases like diabetes, cancer, addiction, anxiety, and depression, develop new crops that will feed our planet and provide biofuels, offer new strategies to protect our environment and protect our endangered species. At UCLA, we cover a wide range of majors in the life sciences, including computational and systems biology, ecology, behavior, and evolution, marine biology, human biology and society, cognitive science, microbiology, immunology, and molecular genetics, physiology, neuroscience, psychobiology, biology, and psychology. So, Chancellor Block, I'm honored to present to you the psychologically well-adjusted, biologically sound, neurologically well-connected, ecologically sensitive, evolutionarily based, immunologically resistant, molecularly complex, physiologically well integrated, developmentally sound, and absolutely brilliant candidates for the degrees of Bachelor of Science and Bachelor of Arts from the Division of Life Sciences.
Thank you, Dean Sorc. Candidates for the bachelor's degree from the Life Sciences, please be seated. Presenting the candidates for the bachelor's degree in the Division of Social Sciences is Dean Darnell Hunt. Dean Hunt.
Social sciences graduates, they've saved the best for last. Graduates, today more than ever, we need you, our graduates in the social sciences, to understand the economic, political, and social conditions that will support private businesses and public institutions that create jobs, support the arts, support scientific research, and improve K-12 education. Today, more than ever, we need you to study the roots of social and cultural conflicts in order to avoid wars. Today, more than ever, we need you to isolate the causes of inequality in order to eradicate poverty and foster a more just society. Today, more than ever, we need you to communicate across cultures and communities, to forge enduring partnerships with people different from yourselves, whether from different neighborhoods, different cities, different states, or different nations. In short, your education at UCLA in departments that are among the best in the world has prepared you to be active agents in the construction of a better society. These programs include aerospace studies, military science, naval science, American Indian studies, African American studies, Asian American studies, gender studies, Chicana and Chicano studies, geography, communication, history, anthropology, sociology, political science, and economics. Chancellor Block, I am honored to present to you the most socially engaged, research-savvy, service-oriented, culturally creative, interactionally skillful, intersubjectively attuned, around-the-clock inspired and inspiring, multilingual, multicultural, and multi-everything you could ever think of plus more. The candidates for the degrees of Bachelor of Science and Bachelor of Arts from the great, unique, awesome, breathtaking, tremendous, splendid, impressive, and superb UCLA Division of Social Sciences.
Thank you, Dean Hunt. Candidates for the bachelor's degree from the Division of Social Sciences, please be seated. The candidates for the bachelor's degree have been presented. On behalf of the deans of the college, I humbly call upon Chancellor Block to confer the degrees of Bachelor of Science and Bachelor of Arts on the class of 2018. Will all of the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science and Bachelor of Arts please stand and remain standing?
Well, I must say, the deans know a lot of adjectives. We've heard a very compelling argument be made by all of the deans, and I'm persuaded. I told you this was an incredible class. The deans have confirmed that you have been extraordinarily well educated and are really ready to change the world. So therefore, I will say the magic words. Now, I have to warn you, if I don't say these magic words, you're back here next year. But we have no room for you. So I must say the magic words. Right? So now, by the virtue of the authority vested in me by the Regents of the University of California, I hereby confer upon you the degree of Bachelor of Arts or Bachelor of Science. Congratulations.
Graduates, let me congratulate all of us on becoming the newest alumni of UCLA as class of 2018. And now we have one final tradition to observe. Before we received our degrees, we wore our tassels on the right side of our mortarboards. Now that our degrees have been conferred, it's time to join the select company of UCLA graduates and move our tassels to the left side of our mortarboards. Bachelors, turn your tassels!
To close commencement, please join in the singing of our alma mater, Hail to the Hills of Westwood. Katerina Hubel, Andrew Pringle, Emmett Solomon, and Maya Sumanawira. The words are printed in the back of your program.
Hail to the hills of Westwood, to the mighty sea below. Hail to our alma mater, she
you, Katarina, Andrew, Emmett, and Maya. And to all of you, thank you for joining us this evening. Best wishes to the class of 2018. Go Bruins!
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming to this evening's commencement. Please exit Poly Pavilion and join your graduate at Bruin Plaza.